Hello and welcome to Dees20Stitches. I'm Dee, my pronouns are they, them. I'm a queer and trans cross-stitcher, designer and educator, and it is November 24th, and that means it's my birthday. And every year on my birthday, I do a WIP parade for you. I perform like a monkey for you on my birthday because in my heart, I'm just a clown. This is a great part. If you've never seen one of my videos before, this is a great place to start. You'll get to know me. You'll get to know all my WIPs, all my works in progress, and we'll just enjoy some time together. I hear that like Americans celebrate my birthday on November 24th by eating a lot of turkey. That's weird. I don't particularly like turkey, but you Americans do you, I guess. There's no other holiday, right? Anyway, I have a full book of days, and I have written down meticulously. This is unlike me. I don't do this. All of my little projects and the dates that I started on, and if they have a check mark, it means that I have finished them. Wow. I know some people do like Excel sheets. That's not me. I love Excel sheet people. They keep the world running, but that ain't me. So we're gonna go through. We're gonna start at the very oldest WIP, and then we're gonna go through, and I'm going to go until the ones that I started just recently. How many WIPs do I have? I don't know. Count along with me. We'll see. Let's get started. This is my first WIP that I have. It's from 2020, January 1st. This was a new year, new start. When I just started to get back into cross stitch. If you don't know about me, I was cross stitching as a kid, as a teen. Of course, gave it up, and then 2020 rolled around pre-pandemic, by the way. I was ahead of the game. And I just decided to start getting back into things. So this was my big one. And of course, I start getting back into cross stitch, and of course I decide to start with a big ass project. It's very me. B, decide to get a long dog. That's very me. And C, start my first project on linen. I've never stitched before on linen before this project. Why not? Why not do it? Why not do it right? This is St. Reatham by Long Dog Sampler. Let me stand up. Holy crapola. She big. Girl, she big. Okay, let's see. There we are. There we are. She's still going. Oh, there she is. So we have pages 1 and 2 up here. Also, I did some more dogs just to make sure I had enough space. We'll see. And then I did, this is the page I'm working on here. Hopefully I'll get a page finished this year. So this was 2020. The second page was 2021. And then this page will be hopefully done in 2022. So I'll have this done in 2027. Sure, why not? Why not? By the way, if you haven't watched my other videos, every time I bring this out, I'm astounded at how dirty it is. Just little food stains and... Whew, I'm a monster. I like this piece a lot. It's my only monochromatic piece that I have in my collection, in my WIP collection, and boy howdy, I love a monochromatic piece. It's just easy. It's good for my brain, especially if I'm under the influence of anything while I stitch. It's just good. It's good fun. Just stitching lines. Just stitching lines. It's so nice for my brain. Oh, this is a Kaylee bag from the sewing shop. Yeah, the sewing shop. I think I always say on my other videos, the stitching shop. It's not the stitching shop. It's the sewingshop.ca. These are really big, hefty bags. I cannot recommend them enough. Okay, so that was 2020 January. And then, oh, look! This was my 2020 birthday start. It's in a quilted bag. I got this off of Instagram. From someone who quilted it, and it's lovely. This is, whoopsie, Where There Are Bees by Prairie Schooler. I'm sorry it's so crumpled. Not sorry. This is done over one. Again, I got really into over one really quickly. I don't know why. It's on maybe a 32 or 28 count? Maybe. It's just on like, I got this fabric from a thrift shop. There we are. This is using the call for. Oh, look at her. Cute. Cutie poo tootie. And I started stitching this before I realized that there were different size needles available to use. So I started using a honkin' big needle, and so some of the stitches are, not great. But then I found my beloved 28, size 28. Oh, they're just weeny teeny. And it makes stitching little even better. I think it was Natty, Stitching Natty, who sent me my first 28 count or 28 size needle, and boy, I fell in love. Haven't looked back, baby. So that project is, what, 2 years old today? Wow. What do 2-year-olds do? They're angry. I know. That's the only thing I know about 2-year-olds. They are very angry. They're demanding. They're just like little, they're little psychopaths, right? They like to jokerify the world. This is what I know about 2-year-olds. I do not have kids, nor will I ever. I'm a teacher though, so you know, I don't want to mess around with kids. They're a lot of work. And you can mess them up really badly. Anyway, that project is 2 years old. Will it get finished? It will. When I want to stitch teeny tiny. Oh God. I see when I go through my patterns like this, when I go through my WIPs like this, I see patterns of where my mind was. I started this project 2021 January 30th. And I feel like when I started this next project, I feel like I could punch the world. Like I can do whatever I want. I want the biggest Sal stitch along possible. I'm going to do it. Oh my gosh. And now Dee in 2022 is looking at this and like, oh, sweet baby doll. What did I get myself into? This is another Kaylee bag, by the way. Oh God, I love it. This is the Quiltify Sal. 2021 Quiltify Sal. And the 2021 Quiltify Sal was Quiltify on Etsy sent us a pattern per month, and you can 3 patterns per month, and you can choose what motifs you wanted on it, and like it just looked incredible. It looked so awesome. But it's so big. So big. Okay, let me. Oh, okay. So here's what. This isn't even a page finish, folks. And you get to choose your colors and everything. I'll tell you about the colors later. But so we've got this, and I did holy jumping, all the crowns. I just wanted to make sure it fit, honestly. And then can I show you how much fabric is on this thing? Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Ready? We're going. We're still going. It's still happening. Okay, excuse me. Okay. There we are. I think this must be a meter of fabric. It's just a gray Zweigart. I think it's a 20, no, it's a 36 count. I was going to do this over one. Could you imagine? This is because I was coming off of the where there are bees situation. I'm like, oh, over one is great. Could you imagine? I'm having a hard time already just with this. It's just slow. I don't know why. It's just slow going. I love it. It's just slow. It's just a lot of little X's, man. Folks. My goal, not for next year, but maybe in a couple years, I would like to make my way down this side and to the bottom. So I know physically how big the pattern is, and I think that will make me feel better. And then I can cut off some of this excess because I don't think I need all this fabric. If I do, then we have a problem, right? This is done for the year. Sometimes you have a WIP that makes you upset. She's that for me. Sometimes you just have a WIP that makes you upset, but you love it. It's a love-hate relationship. Okay, oh, July 18th. Okay. This is, I don't know why it's still in my thing, but I thought I was gonna, anyway. This is the Trans Pride Tapestry. This is the first pattern that Kari and I did together. I don't have a picture for you. You can Google it. It was to celebrate Trans Pride. I'm trans. And there's not a lot of there weren't a lot of trans patterns done by trans designers. So we did it. It's again done teeny tiny. Now we have a model. Model is sitting with Kari, I think. I think we're trying to take better photos and redo all of our patterns. Oh God, my nose, excuse me. Gross. So I just decided to do it teeny tiny because when we first had the model done, our model stitcher Ariel, who is fantastic, she was keeping all the models, and so I wanted to start my own, and I wanted to start them teeny tiny just in case we had to like do a little trunk show. So I started with it. These are for this is the called for floss. This is the called for fabric. This is a Mystic Fabrics. I think it's called Spring Breeze. Or is that Hex Hotel? You know what? Buy the pattern and then you'll know. I think it's a Mystic Fabrics anyway. And it was actually my intention to UFO this WIP. I think that stands for like unfinished finished object. Like I'm done stitching it. I'm not gonna finish it. One of the things is I wanted to give it away to a trans stitcher, so I put the call out a while ago. I haven't actually heard from any trans stitchers who wanted it, so keep an eye out. Probably next year I will UFO this and give it away on my Instagram to someone to give it to a good home, and I'll give you some of the flosses, and then you have to buy the pattern. So keep an eye out. It's still in my WIP pile because it hasn't been released, is all. August 17th, 2021, Arranging Seashells by Ink Circles. Oh, look, I forgot how far I went. Here we are. Cutesy. There we are. I love the symmetry. I love the symmetry of ink circle patterns. So that way you do like one half of it and then you don't need the pattern anymore, right? This is on, I want to say 28 count, 25 count that I dyed myself. This is the DMC. I'm almost done. The border is a DMC, like transitional, just scissors. This is where, here's the thing, this is where all my scissors go. Anyway, the border is like one of those DMC special things. So my plan was to stitch this twice and make a little needle book. So we have that, and then I'll stitch another one down below. And I actually bought, a long time ago, bought the fancy flosses to stitch at the bottom, because I think it will be a nice look at DMC versus fancy versus overdyed, and see what the difference looks like, what I like better. This was my summertime project, so I usually take it out when I go on summer vacation. So it will go back out when I go on summer vacation. Next, September 22nd. This is Possum Song, or Moons. Almost took my camera out. Or Moonshine Possum by Mama Witch Stitch. First of all, these are called for. So many flosses. I'm not a person who likes patterns with a lot of flosses, but I really like this pattern. Do I have a picture? No, I just have the pattern. Whew, I need to hem. Ooh. This is on, it's called Sea Foam. And it's just probably by Winchelt. Feels like it. And of course I did it teeny tiny. There we are. There he is. Teeny looks good, teeny tiny. Mama Witch Stitch patterns are, they always look smaller than they are. They come out really large, and I can't do a lot with a really large pattern. It's either small or huge that I like. There he is. There we are. So, last year, 2021, I did this half. And then this year I was working here on the Possum. And I thought, I had it in my mind, I think the first half went so fast. I'm like, I can finish it this year. I think I'm over it. Like, I think, like, I wanted to stitch this in the fall. So I did. And now it's November. It's almost December. I think it's, I don't know if I'm getting them out again. We'll see. This bag is a vintage Owl Lady bag. Gosh, I could buy nothing but vintage Owl Lady bags for the rest of my life. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So on November 7th, I have it here, but I don't have it. I put November 7th, 2021 is when I started what we called the Cursed Anchor Sale. The story is, I got everyone in the stitching community, every single person, a handful of people that I watched on FlossTube were singing the praises of Anchor Black. So I went off to my local Michael's and I got a spool of Anchor Black. And it was like stitching with human hair. It was awful. So I went full Peppy Sylvia. I went full red string to figure out why is my black anchor cursed and other people's aren't. There's conspiracy theories. Anyway, I started stitching some motifs on a huge piece of hand-dyed gray fabric. And my goal was to get rid of all this very bad anchor black. And people signed up. My FlossTube watchers signed up. And we are sending it around the world, honestly, the world, and everyone is stitching a motif with the very bad anchor black floss. Right now, it's in, I will call a stasis. There was an issue with the mail where it went to someone's house, but the mail person didn't leave a little notice. And so by the time the person went to go find it, it may have gone back to the last person, but it hasn't. And you know what? We're just trusting in the system. If the cursed anchor sale gets lost in the mail, maybe that's the curse. Maybe it just exists in the ether sphere. Maybe it just haunts us forever. If that's the way it is, that's the way it is. I'm not going to be choked about it. But I'll give you an update. Next time I hear about it, I'll give you an update. But I'm still putting that on my WIP because... Oh, maybe I can show you a picture. I'm still putting it on my WIP list because it's not finished yet, right? It's Cursed Anchor Sal on Instagram. Is it? Yeah. Okay. This is, oh yeah, Shaded Stitchery. Had it last. There we are. That's what it last looked like. It's fantastic. I love it so much. I know I said I'm okay if it gets lost in the mail because that's the way the curse went. But at the same time, it's just fantastic seeing the creativity. We can't. There we are. We're trying. There we are. So that's a cursed black anchor sail. Hopefully it gets to us. Hopefully it gets to us. We'll see. Next, speaking of curses, if you've been a long-time watcher, you know what's in this bag. This is a Jasmine custom bag. Yeah, who I love, fellow Canadian. And Jasmine made this William Morris bag for my William Morris birthday. If you have been following me, you know the curse that happened with William Morris, where I bought this William Morris cross-stitch book online, and the patterns that I wanted were cut out of it. Some stitcher really wanted those patterns, and so then I bought one, and then 2 other friends sent me one, so I am flush with William Morris books. I've been working on this one, actually, for my birthday. Flip-D the bird cell. There we are. It is 1/1 on 28 count? Maybe. I want to say 28 count, maybe 32. Does feel more like 28 though. This was kitted for me by Natty, my friend Natty. Natty went to Acorns and Threads and really just set me up. And I put in a lot of work. It is, I would say, over a quarter done, maybe more. Here's the flosses. The flosses really sing on that navy. I think I'm gonna do more pastels on navy fabric. Oh, and this is, oh, there's Betsy. This is the little thread keep that Natty made me. Dee! With a bird! By the way, if you don't watch my regular floss tubes, every year on my birthday, I ask stitchers to hashtag flip me the bird. Flip D the bird Sal. It's my birthday Sal. So if you'd like to stitch on something with a bird on it, you can flip it to me and hashtag me, tag me. Okay, William Morris bird. That was my Christmas start 2021, December 25th. Wait, that's not Christmas, is it? When is Christmas? It's around Christmas. It's a Christmas-esque start. Now we're into 2022. My January 1st New Year, New Start 2022 was Jane Hopkins. Let me show you the book. I love her. I love weird organic samplers. This is from Hands Across the Sea. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Nope. Hold it in. I have fall allergies. It's the worst. I think I'm allergic to like moldy leaves, and there's a lot of them. Oh, I need to take a Claritin. I love organic samplers. I love weird organic samplers so much. I have a bunch of them sitting down in my stash, but this one is very special to me. I am going to change the wording down here. Instead of Jane Hopkins, it's going to say Trans is Beautiful. And I have a page finish on this. This is a 40 count. Yeah. Did I miss? Hold on. Sorry, I'm recalculating. Sorry, I'm recalculating because I know I have another WIP and I don't think it's on this list. And I don't remember when I year. Well, at the end, I'm gonna have to go digging because I know I have another WIP and it's not on there. Did I imagine starting it? Okay, we'll see. Okay, we'll see. Anyway, this is Jane Hopkins. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I have a page finish on it. Here, let me move my button. This is on 40 count. It's like a light mocha. I'm just making it up. I don't know what. And we finished the border. I love the satin stitches. And we're getting into the weird organic stuff. And that little weird bird. That little weird bird. I love it. Yeah. Okay, now this is, oh, first of all, flosses. DMC. Everything I do is DMC unless it's something extra special, which I'll tell you about. Okay, let me, give me like 2 million seconds because, oh yeah, what, wait. Okay. Yeah, so I do have another WIP and it's not on my list. What is happening? Oh, Gerald by Kathy Barrick. I think I did this for my birthday last year. I think so. I don't know why it's not on my list. I missed it. Why haven't I been stitching on this? Because it hasn't been on my list. I love it so much. This is on, the reason why I thought of this is because I had Jane Hopkins and I'm like, oh, this is my first pattern on 40 count fabric. And then my brain said, no, it's not, Dee. You did something else on 40 count fabric. What was it? And it was this. This was my first piece. This is just a Zweigart 40 count, just off-white. Why haven't I taken this out? Gerald. Have I stitched on that this year? I must have. You've seen this. I feel like I've lost one of my children because I haven't kept track of when I started this, and I haven't thought about it because it hasn't been on my list. My child. Well, this is coming out. I'll be stitching on this for the rest of November. Dang! Ding dang! Do you do that sometimes? Do you forget a child? Parents, do you have one kid that you just forget sometimes? You forget about? The real Home Alone situation. Guess what? I was that child growing up. My parents had 2 kids. Sometimes I got forgotten about, but for different reasons. Gerald. I'm perturbed at myself. This is in a Gerald stitchery bag. I'm upset. My organization. My spreadsheets. Okay. So Gerald was probably, I'm gonna guess, my birthday start on 2021. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess. And then Jane Hopkins was my 2022, my first start of 2022. And then January 30th, I started It's All About the Acorns by Luhu Stitches. This was a Acorns and Threads retreat, online retreat special. I think it's available now too. It's what we got in our little packet. This was the first retreat I went to. And I like the idea of retreats. But how am I'm not the demographic, I guess. You know what I mean? I like it though. The action of the scroll is great. And this is on It's on the fabric that we got. Which is, who knows? It was like a mocha. I'm gonna just say everything is a mocha. Oh, sand. Sand Dunes by Seraphim Fabrics. Sand. Here we go. That's the needle minder we got. I worked on it this year, this month. I love the blended flosses. I'm a convert on those. I think they look smashing. Smashing. Very cute. Very cute. I want to make this into like a little acorn bag, like a little acorn purse for someone. Oh, what's in here? Oh, fun. Sometimes I put stuff in my bag that I think will like make a good fully finished piece. So I just have this stuff in there. I think that will look nice, but it's just in my bag. It's not needed. Okay. That was January 30th, February 24th. This was for, I think, Natty's birthday. This is a bag I got from Jody Trixie Tricycle. It's very cute. This is a Purim Moth by Rosen. I'm almost... How dare. This is on... Hold on. I think I have it. Maybe this is Seafoam. This is Light Lime, just by Zweigart. 32 count. I'm smart. I kept the little guy in there. I need to finish. This is a Purim. Natty's birthday is around Purim, the Jewish holiday Purim. So this is one of those. I gotta finish this. I'm gonna give it away to a high school friend that I've kept in touch with, that I enjoy their company very much. And they are a Jewish family. I want to finish it for them. That's gonna be my first finish of the new year, I think. Right? Okay, that was the 24th. On March 23rd, heck yeah! 1844 Lady Man. This is a Michelle Bendy. This is my first Michelle Bendy Stitchy. Bendy Stitchy? How is that possible? Oh, It's canon, he's trans, and he's a lady man. Oh, I love him. Is it because I have this exact same outfit? Yes, it is. It's me. I'm the lady man. If you don't know about me, I'm a burlesque and drag artist, or I was, and now I'm mostly a host and MC. But I have some pretty smashing outfits, and I do have this outfit that Lady Man wears. I love him. I took him out because I wanted to stitch this just because he is just a perfect little king. This is how I stored him. Sorry. This is on like a natural 28 count. Just a natural linen. Yeah. Oh, cashel. It's cashel. There's so much of it. Oh no, everything fell out. Excuse me. That was... There we are. I believe this bag is from Jenny. My friend Jenny. Okay, let's see. Let's try this again. There we are. Over to 28 count. Move, I'm gay. Oh, I love it. Starting the other butterfly. This was a stitch, something I stitched on a lot during Pride. Because I need to bring more cross stitch into the gay canon. Okay. This is next. Oh, great. We're getting down here, folks. Have you been counting? Because my count was wrong because I forgot about Gerald. This is Heart Sampler. That's upside down. It's by Bad Vibes Only, Fergus on Instagram and on Etsy. This sampler, I've never seen anything like it, and I just love it so much. Oh. Everything that Ferg does, just, and Fergus is a queer designer too. So I'm using the thread pack for the Iron Maiden thread pack, the pattern that Kari and I put out for Spring Fling 2022. It's by Brennan Needle. I'm obsessed with them. I used to not be a pink person, but obsessed. And I have a page finish in a little bit. There's like 12 pages to this pattern. I'm kind of going off-roading with my colors. There we are. I'm kind of just choosing what colors I think go where. It's not really following what the pattern... Oh, there's the burp. It's asking for. Gross. I'm not cutting it. Also, there's the Transcribe Tapestry Needle Minder, FYI. Here we are. I love it. It's so nice. It's so nice and happy. Do you have a pattern that makes you happy when you stitch on it because the colors are so nice and bright? It's color therapy, baby. We have... There's an ant. Sorry. Why is there an ant? Get. There's a little ant. There's an ant crawling around on my projects. Gross. Is there more? Now I'm... Why would there be an ant down here? I'm in the basement. Okay. Focus. hair check. It's great. Wow. Wow. Oh. Okay, we've recovered. This pattern I started on August 9th. This is Shiny Things by Lindy20Stitches. It's a kit. I have everything in there. It is on Silvery Moon Lugana. That's what it says on the back. I've done some modifications to it. Oh. By the way, this bag is by my friend Alexis. And this needle minder is also by her as well. Shiny Things. I have kind of a page finish. So the crows are shiny. I used DMC Black Étoile. And then I changed the color of the words because they were supposed to be in black as well. But I thought that was kind of boring. So I wanted to give it a bit more color. And I thought that went well. Do I have anything on the other side? No, I did not start. So I have one side done. That's what the... Did I ever tell you about Ernie and Bert? I have some pet crows. I have 2 crows. They're called Ernie and Bert. And every morning they come and follow me on my dog walk. My dog Timbit hates them. And then when I come home from work, they come and say hello to me. They haven't dropped me any gifts yet, which I'm kind of bitter. But maybe one day. That we're not rushing the relationship, you know. But they've been around. They've been around for, I would say, 3 or 4 years. Yeah. Is this the last one? Absolutely. October 7th. This is my last start. This is A Time for All Seasons. This was given to me by my friend Sebastian at Bees and Teas. And it is on an 18 count Aida that I dyed myself. And I am just doing the crow. That is finishable, but I shall not be finishing it. Got other stuff to do. I love that. Carriage House Designs. Carriage House Samplings. Carriage House Samplings. I like when they do animals because I like the patterning they do within them, if that makes sense. And this friend has a lot of patterning in it. Gorgeous. Yeah, there we are. The green isn't, oh, that's better. The green is much brighter than you see. But that's the way it is. Folks, that's it. So let me count what we got going on here. Make sure there's no more ants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gerald. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Hey, that ain't bad. 15? That's amateur hour. I'm a sweet baby for only having 13. And this year, I finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I finished 10 whips this year, and then I UFO'd 1, so 11. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. I'm pretty dang proud of myself. So for new starts, it's my birthday, so I will be starting something new. It will probably be a bird. I have a pattern. Oh, I bought the new cuckoo pattern collection from Long Dog Sampler because there's some funky stuff in there. I also have I have a bird, a little vintage bird that I bought from the same people who did the Bushland Quaker. They're an Australian designer. I have that. So I haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet. That's later Dee's problem. But right now, I'm done. I'm gonna upload this to the tubes. I'm gonna eat some birthday pumpkin pie. So we don't do cake around here. We do pumpkin pie. And I'm gonna go buy my own birthday present. This is what we do. When you're in your mid to late 30s, you just buy your own birthday present to make yourself happy. So I'm gonna go out and do that. Thank you for joining me for this WIP Parade. If this is the first time that you've joined me, I hope you enjoy me as a personality. And please feel free to go check out my other floss tubes. I'm just as funny and cute and quirky in those as well. I will do another regular floss tube in December before I'm off for the holidays, the vacations. Remember, I'm your Stitch Dad, and I'm really proud of you. Bye!